everybody. It's me again. Guy should be along here soon. I hope. Let's get this party started. So how is everyone on this cold and frosty evening, snow-packed? I thought I heard Brent say something that he was going to try to be here tonight. There's at least one person here, which is good. Bah. 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 There we go. Beam. I have it wrong. So he's been reflecting it. There. Guy is really late tonight. Hope everything okay. Is that a guy? Is a guy?
Maybe.
Is a guy here?
Maybe. Sure.
Maybe?
Sure. I'll restart everything. That sounds like a great plan right before a show. I think that's a beautiful idea. Let's restart everything just before the show.
Is that what happened?
What could possibly go wrong?
What happened?
Yeah, well, it's all good. Actually, it was also that and that OBS was doing the, hey, do you want to update? Because really you haven't been updating and like you really should update. And I was like, oh, sure, this won't take but a second, right? That's okay. I'm here. We're all good.
It could be like Twitter right now.
What's Twitter doing right now?
Elon Musk fired everyone.
The whole lot?
Yeah. Including the critical infrastructure teams all walked.
They all walked or he fired?
Today was the ultimatum. Either you sign this paperwork today or they consider you effectively resigned. So everybody walked.
Everybody walks.
And they have completely locked down the Twitter building between Musk and his engineers. There's that Musk might have accidentally locked himself out of the building.
That would have been funny.
Currently Twitter is going down in currently Twitter's going down in flames. They aren't sure if it's even going to be running by the end of the weekend.
Well, we're broadcasting on it, so if you can hear us out there in Twitter land, hi.
Yeah.
If you can't, I'm really sorry, bro.
We're on, if you can't, we're on Facebook, YouTube.
Maybe I should put toss a coin to your Twitter.
Oh, Valley.
At the top of the screen.
Oh, my shield plunging.
Oh, man. I'm dying over here, bro.
We're not right in the head.
We are never right in the head. It's snowing. We're going to be trapped in the house for the next couple of days. I can already tell. So there's that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, currently there's a projectionist that's projecting onto the building everything that Elon Musk is.
Is?
Yeah. a bigoted racist.
Oh, gotcha.
An apartheid abuser. Just everything.
Just getting on him. That's awesome. Twisted, but awesome.
A lot of people, artists especially, are like, now what do? You just effectively killed my income.
Yep, thanks. Because we need assistance wiping out our own income, you know.
Yeah.
We're not already our world's worst enemies.
And then you take out the number one way a lot of us make money.
Yeah.
So other than that, how are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm not connected to Twitter much at all. So it can go down in frames, and I will just go, wow. Pretty much. So it affects me really not much. I know that it affects others, though. And others like I love quite a bit. So,
like me.
Yeah, like you. So, for me, I'm doing great, but I don't like what it's doing to my buddies. So there's that. We get a slow start tomorrow, so 2-hour delay on schools.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is great, because that means the entire family is going to just sleep in tomorrow. There's no way I'm going on my morning walk, which means that I really don't have to report to duty until like 5 minutes before 9 tomorrow morning. You know?
Yeah.
So that doesn't bother me any. Certainly not going to kill me to be that way.
So Iron Circus Publishing or Iron Circus Comics?
I've seen them. I think I just recently liked their pages because they had some thing pop up that I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like they're adult-oriented comics.
Yeah, they do a lot of adult-orientated and LGBTQT and that kind of thing.
Things I support, so I'm in. I may not enjoy their comics themselves, but I support all of those things.
They've had their first banned book.
Nice. Wait, was it the adult ones or was it one of the LGBT?
No, it wasn't any of those. It was a kids horror comic called Last Halloween. That's a cute little fun horror comic that one of their authors did. It has been banned by the Missouri School District.
That's awesome. You ride the line.
And she wasn't even riding the line.
I know, that's the best part. They just banned her because they know that the group is questionable. That makes it funnier.
No. They banned her because she was dealing with Satan topics.
Okay. Like Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween and witchcraft and demons and monsters, and we can't have our kids.
Funnier. Because I hate to say this, but Halloween? I do.
Even Spike was like, you know what? If I was a betting person, I would have not put any money on Last Halloween getting banned.
Right?
So last night for the stream, I did fan art for it.
Nice.
Because, hey,
now
that they're a banned book, oh man. And particularly for such a stupid topic like that. Like,
there's so many great things you could ban them for. You know? Like, so many wonderful things that would be much more awesome for you to ban them for LGBTQ topics, for being too adult, there's so many wonderful things that you could be banned for, and this is the one you're going to ban them for?
Or even if you were going to go the religious route, you could have gone for, I think it's called The Harrowing or something like that, which is a really, really anti-religion book that they did that deals with, Satan and all that. And instead you go after that one.
It's just funny. I spent a little bit of quality time this morning with some lady who had posted in a thread about 9 News that it had posted about the Republicans winning the House. And she'd started with, what is it with liberals? They're so mean and they're so angry all the time, and they just get they're always just espousing their love for their King Brandon and the seat warmer of the White House. And I was like, so let me get this straight. You're wondering why they're mad, and all you do is spew like crap like that? I'm like, and she was like, why are you singling me out? Is it because you're a liberal? And I'm like, no, I'm singling you out because I'm a teacher and you're acting like one of my belligerent junior hires. And I just kept schooling her over. It was really funny. I mean, she wanted really badly to draw me into some kind of, liberal thing, and I kept saying, no, all I'm saying is you reap what you sow, dude. You went out there and you start yammering at people and calling them Brandon, and she was like, that's his real name. And I'm like, it isn't actually. You don't even know the history of that, and clearly that's even funnier.
Yeah,
believe that that's Joe Biden's real name.
Let's go laugh at the cartoonists and see how badly you get burned for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we do our research, man. We're notorious for it. Artists are really known for this stuff, man. You can't do that. Do you know where "Let's Go Brandon" comes from?
Yes, it was a reporter who had misheard what the crowd was chanting
at
a NASCAR event, because they were saying "fuck Joe Biden," and he misheard it as "Let's Go Brandon,"
because he thought it became a running joke about the kid that he was interviewing, who was Brandon so-and-so, who was a racer, and thought that was what they were saying. Yeah.
But I'm well aware.
That's cool. I love the fact that you know that. I actually did not until I looked it up this morning. Now I know it, and I am more than willing to slug it at people. I am.
That's why the dark Brandon memes are really cropping up.
The what?
Dark Brandon.
Oh, Dark Brandon.
So on the other side of it, the liberals have actually started to own Brandon as the name for Biden.
Mm-hmm.
But every time he succeeds and makes the conservatives look bad, they say it's Dark Brandon.
Gotcha. That's kind of funny, actually, and somewhat clever. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I was just like, she was so clueless. The whole point of what I was trying to say was, I'm astonished with how people don't see what they're doing. Hello, Melon.
Hi, Melon.
Welcome back to the stage of history. Sorry, I have a problem. I'm actually super addicted to that game. I'm horribly addicted to it.
How are you doing this evening, Melon? Did you get your emote pack done?
Oh, yeah. Sleep. Yeah, I'm actually going to take people tonight. Screw this. I get the ability to sleep in tomorrow because of snow day, so I'm going to take advantage of it because I have not slept well. Got the Pokemon pack done, though. Good job.
Yay! I know you were really working hard on that pack.
Making a Manju pack. Aww. It's a YCH pick, though.
Huh?
I don't know what a YCH pick is.
Oh, it's a auction.
Huh?
It's that's an acronym. Oh God, what's it stand for?
You can help him out.
It's like adoptables.
Okay.
Oh, your character here. So basically, you do a very, very generic scene with a very generic like pose for a character, and then you either sell it as is or you auction it off. And the person that wins can have their character in that scene.
Gotcha. Nifty. You're enjoying it. That is excellent, then. There are always things in evolutions, and there once, like I was saying yesterday, it's like once was a time when I was on top of all of this. Like I knew everything was going on, and now it just all started to go by me so fast. And it's like I don't understand these things anymore. It's kind of sad. My wife and I are going through a rewatch of Star Trek Next Gen. You're watching Twitter burn. We were just talking about Twitter going down. It's horrible.
And yet funny.
Not funny for the people who rely on it. I agree.
Yeah,
but funny in the I kind of knew that it wasn't going to end well.
I mean, you're
Someone
listening
with the welcome home cheater sign. You know what? You're not wrong. Just saying, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's the listening to the cursed flute edition of the Titanic theme song as you're watching Twitter burn to the ground.
So horrible. So sad. I like welcome home cheater.
And the really sad thing is, I don't know if Musk is doing this intentionally to get rid of Twitter, but it's not going to work because something else will just come into the power vacuum and take it over.
I have a conspiracy theory. Ready for my Twitter, my tinfoil hat?
Okay.
And here's my tinfoil hat belief. I believe that he really bought into the Twitter just has a whole bunch of liberals that ban only conservative stuff. He really bought into it and then purchased Twitter. And with the intention of actually fixing that. And then when he got in there, he found out that it was a function of the AI. It had nothing to do with the people at all. There was nothing he could do about it. It's if you leave capitalism unfettered, it immediately does what it does to every social media network, and it just runs them into the ground like that. So then he was faced with can't fix it, and then he'd have to face the fact that he didn't actually do what all these people were looking up to him to do. So then he set fire to it. That's my theory.
Well, there's another part to that that's important also.
That's my theory.
Before he set fire to it, I think that he also tried to make money off of Twitter, and that's why he was selling the Twitter Blue stuff.
Well, he was trying to. That was his first attempt at trying to find some other source of revenue, which would have been a better way of handling it than to just, because then he could dump the algorithm.
Yeah, but instead, what happened was he cracked it through. He pushed it through as hard as he could, got it through, and it was an utter disaster in implementation because he doesn't actually know how to manage.
Right.
And now he's being sued by lots of really big companies over the destruction that he has caused.
I think that's probably more true than it needs to be. Okay, so I'm seeing Melon's saying DA until they pulled the AI. What? So are they allowing AI art? Is that what's going on? Or
yes, and actually they had turned it on in such a way that anybody who has ever posted art on DA automatically had their art thrown into the AI to help learn.
Oh God! Hey, that's my art too.
You could only opt out by optics.
Oh Jesus!
And then the entire community went, "What? I don't want this. I don't want an AI program stealing my art."
Right.
And DA came back and went, "Oh, we've heard the community. Please don't leave us. We've made it so that it no longer does that." But by that point, the damage had already been done.
It had already eaten everybody's stuff. Oh, that's
well,
horrible.
And people had started to leave.
Right. Yeah. That's brutal. Yeah. One pick at a time. One pick at a time. Nah, bro. I got better things to do with my life. Yeah, that's rough. What is it with people?
Yeah, and
the thing that really kills me is
that they're.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was just going to say what really kills me is that AI Oh, gotcha. So by the time you could opt out, what was in was in. It was in the blender and there was nothing you could do.
Yeah. And now they've made it so everything is automatically opt out. You can opt it in, but it's too little too late.
Right. That's rough. What is it with these people? The thing that gets me about AI, though, is that some of the stuff is absolutely stunningly gorgeous, and that absolutely irritates me because they didn't work on it. They didn't do anything. And it's not crediting.
And it's learned based on somebody else's art.
Right? Like, I mean, it's not... they didn't do anything. They typed a word in.
It was like the one guy who taught the AI this one artist's work, and then before the artist even finished the picture, they fed it into the AI, had the AI finish the picture as the artist was still working on it, and then demanded that the artist give them credit for it. Which happened on a live stream.
Yeah, oh man. What happened with MasterCard? You mean because MasterCard told them to?
What's going on?
I was talking about Pixiv banned masked content due to MasterCard. This is new. I'm hearing all this great stuff today, and not good. Like all of this stuff, it involves me. I'm like,
oh yeah, Pix. They banned a lot of adult content on there.
Oh, because MasterCard was involved?
Yeah.
Yeah. Patreon had that same problem.
I didn't realize MasterCard was the one responsible, but I know a lot of artists are having a shit fit right now at Pivx over it.
Yeah, because Patreon did the same thing at one point because of PayPal. PayPal's terms of services said that you couldn't, if you use PayPal, you cannot use it for adult stuff, and it almost killed PayPal, or it almost killed Patreon back in the day. I mean, and I say back in the day, and it was like 3 years ago, but that now feels like an eternity ago because of the way that the world works. Yeah. Just killing me. Kill me, Smalls.
Killing me, Smalls. So yeah, it's been an interesting year.
Yeah, right. In the last week, yeah, you're right. Somebody or one of my people on the web page was saying, I've been trying to figure out what your logo looks like, and now I finally figured it out. And they put the Lego space logo up, and I was like, I absolutely positively would never have been influenced by that. I have never in my life had 62 space Lego sets. And I never realized that it's subconscious because I didn't think about it, but it does. It totally looks like the Lego space logo. Oh well. Not enough to make Lego go after me, luckily, but yeah, I could totally see it. And I was like, okay, I admit it. It's alright. I think the thing that sucks the most about AI, and the thing that makes me the maddest about it, is
artists already have a hard enough time becoming valid, trying to do anything with some validity, and these stupid things are already in there now, making it harder for us to do our jobs.
Yeah, because you have whiny rich kids that didn't want to pay artists for their work.
Now that can do.
So they hired a programmer who doesn't know any better to do it.
Yep. Well, they don't even need to hire a programmer anywhere now. They just go to Midjourney and fix it, and their thing is done.
Well, no, someone at Midjourney had to make the AI.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see. I get it now.
And they were too busy. It's that old quote from Jurassic Park. They were too busy about thinking about whether or not they could, and not busy enough thinking about whether or not they should.
Also true. So being an artist is even harder. Concurred.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of 2022. I can't tell if it's been bad or good, or just strange.
I always feel like every time we have something like this in our world, Starving Artist 2.0.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling like we finally got it to the point where we could live on a relatively low budget, and then Adobe goes and charges us $1 zillion. Everybody requires Adobe products. You have to use Adobe, and so you have to pay $1 zillion. Now Clip Studio is going to start charging $1 zillion. Everybody's going to start charging $1 zillion. You have to. I agree with you, Melon. It's just becoming one of those, and it's like every time it's the same thing. You get to the point where it's like, why am I bothering with this? And then you realize you can't not, because this is what you're supposed to do. I feel like Rodney Dangerfield. Can't get no respect.
No respect at all.
No respect. No respect at all.
As we adjust our tie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have already gotten to the point where I'm not expecting anything out of this. I'm just making my story because I have to make my story. And I'm resigning myself to the fact that I will never make any money off of this, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And I need to just deep breath. Oh, I could imagine that. I don't even know why I'd get Twitter blue, though. I guess I could see why.
What?
Twitter blue. I mean, because you want to be, authentic.
Well, no. The reason why you wanted to do Twitter blue was they were going to make it so that your post couldn't go beyond your followers, so it couldn't gain traction.
Oh,
so they were going to force the issue that unless you paid them $8, they were going to hide your tweets.
Gotcha. That's even more awesome.
And then when people are like, because initially he rolled it out and said it was $20,
right? And then
people like Stephen King were like,
were giving him all kinds of crap for it.
Yeah,
clicked the wrong layer. It's right. You made a mistake anyway, so it's all good. And there's no way to stop it. I would have just happily abandoned Twitter at that point. I mean, I'm not saying people should. I was just like, I don't even know how I would have handled that. I would have been like, okay, yeah. I wasn't getting traction from Twitter anyway, which was sad, but you know.
I was just starting to get traction on that site.
Then that sucks. See, that sucks. For me, I was just like,
Yeah, I was just on the cusp of, I was starting to get people to notice me. I was starting to get a lot of likes and tweets, retweets.
And then everything went to shit.
And now it's doing this, and I'm sitting there going, well, now I have to rebuild myself somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm sorry, bro.
I
mean,
that's life.
His life, sure, but that doesn't make it better. You were, yeah.
What's up?
Melon's talking about getting onto Twitter and then losing it again.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like it's just a lost cause, and I don't want it to be a lost cause. You know? Like, got so much work to do. Just hanging out on Insta.
And you get buried under the noise.
Yeah. I'm just perpetually buried under the noise.
And so now everybody's like, they're trying to figure out what they want to do. And they're like, well, do we, go back to our Tumblr accounts now that they're allowing for adult works on there again? Because Yahoo dropped them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and rightfully so.
Well, Yahoo created the problem to begin with.
Mm-hmm. We all dropped. Everybody dropped them.
Yeah.
I said rightfully so.
They effectively kicked the teeth of everybody to appease some owner. And then when it fell off in value, they sold it cheap and flew off with their golden parachute.
I feel like this is the artist. Melon, are you drawing? Because if you aren't, you should be, because this is the equivalent of the artist sitting around drinking their sorrows. Because all of us just drawing our sorrows away.
And that stuff is shit.
Exactly. It's like all of us sitting around just crying into our art.
Is that a amalgam of whiskey you have there? Yes. Welcome to Drink and Draw 2.0.
Lots of drawing, not a lot of drinking.
But it's important to talk about current events with
no,
what's going on.
I'm not even complaining. This is exactly what we ought to be doing.
Because we're also trying to brainstorm about how are we going to deal with this?
Right? Well, and we will. And we'll fix it, and we'll get on it, and we'll get together, and we'll all pull it out of this. And done it before, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Artist for frickin' 30 years now. This is not the first time. Had to pull this out of the dirt.
By the way, I was going to ask, is NDK going to have like a AI art section, or are you guys just banning AI art?
Legitimately, we haven't started up. We just reorganized after losing the director that was in charge of art and marketing. She had to stand down because COVID, and I'm still bitter about this because I liked her. But now there's going to be a committee, but the committee doesn't meet until January now, because there's just nothing we can. Nobody has time until January. Then we're going to meet in January and talk about what are our new policies, what are we doing, how are we organizing art, how are we dealing with it, what things like that. Because it's the artists in the director group, so it's all of us who actually do stuff in the director group. So we don't know what we're doing yet, because this is all so new. It's like we don't even know.
And I don't want to. I'm kind of torn on AI art, because at the same time, I see the potential of it.
Sure.
I see that there can be a future with AI art and artists really making it using AI, and then tweaking the AI, the algorithm stuff, to be what they want it to be in the final draft.
Yeah. Here I am right now using maquettes underneath this because it makes it faster. I could totally draw this freehand. I know I can draw it freehand. I didn't, because A, she is exactly the right size, and since I'm going to make a Twitch also has a beta for making your own emotes for free. Well, that's useful. It's nice to have her be exactly the right size, and I don't have to fight with it, and I don't have to argue. You know what I mean? That's not hi. How are you? I just noticed.
Hi, George.
He's like, hi, I am staring at you. Importantly, mostly because you have put your coat on my chair. How am I supposed to sit on my chair if the coat is on it? George is George. Well, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you mean I don't. So I am so sorry, Melon. I don't understand totally how emotes work. And that's just because I'm old and slow, and it's starting to get harder and harder to keep up. So I might need a little bit of an elevator pitch on this.
Okay, so you go into a chat room and you do LOL and you get that laughing face.
Uh-huh.
That's an emote.
Well, I get that. Can I swap them?
Yes.
And if I swap them and I type in LOL and I get a laughing face that Melon made, do you see it?
Yes, depending on the channel.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty kick butt. Okay, I'm good with that. I mean, I was good with it. I assume it must.
So if you're on Twitch, for instance, or even Discord, they can actually, the Discord channels or the Twitch channel can have custom-made emotes for their channel for their subscribers. So they can...
Moreover, apparently Melon can put their emotes on Restream, which is super kick butt. That's much cooler. Because I mean, look, right up there on the top there, we've got them on the Restream channel.
Yeah, because she's using Twitch. Those are her personal ones.
I get it, but I come from the day of where it sent a string of codes and then it's up to my client to understand that string of codes to put a smiley face on. That's the world I come from. So the fact that it can actually transmit an entire PNG through in the chat channel is mind-boggling to me. Because to me, back in the day, when you said an emote, you typed in LOL and it was up to my chat client to put a laughing emoji on there, which you would never see. It was only on my side. So
yeah, now it's everybody's side. Yeah. So that's how a lot of channels make themselves really distinctive.
That's cool. That makes total sense. I dig it. I'm just amazed that we're at that technology level because I'm old. Damn it. I don't want to be old.
Yeah, Melon and I were discussing what is a good rate to charge for doing that kind of work.
Yeah.
Because it's an entire task in and of itself. Because so when I started, you had to, for every emote, you had to have 3 or 4 different sizes. And now that's starting to go away where you just need to upload one size.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It will refit it for the different sizes that they need.
Right. Right. I mean, I totally see someday contracting Melon to do little, emotes for the Bellatrix Rising if I ever become popular enough that I actually talk to people.
Check with Twitch because you might already be able to do that.
Well, that was more of a if anybody ever cares, less a whether it's capable or not. More, I just kind of like I don't know if it cares, but that's okay. It's totally fine. What was I looking for? Shared resources. I had in here how to do shading and one of my shading colors. That's not the one I was looking for. Oh, but I put it here because I'm smart. SMRT. I feel like it'd be a duller color. You went overboard. I follow that. Sadly, probably follow that a little too much.
Yeah, they also have it that you can do animated ones too, and put them in as an emote.
That's wild. I mean, cool, but still wild. I don't know. I mean, I know. I don't know why I said I don't know. Other than there's no way I can do it anymore.
Yeah, you could.
Easily. Well, no, I guess I should. That sounded very defeatist. That was not what I meant to say. That was supposed to be a show of respect for Melon. Not necessarily.
Yeah, Melon is a damn good
right
emote artist.
Like not supposed to sound self deprecating.
Yeah.
That was just a social skill fail, that's all.
He rolled a 1 on talking.
I rolled a 1 on social skills. I mean, like, really legitimately, ADDers don't do so well on the social skill thing. Especially when we leave our mouths unattended. Something that happens when I'm drawing. Nice. I'm glad. I am becoming better with my art. But it's hard. It's a hard trip. That's not a good trip.
Well, and I think it's a trip that it's not only highly personalized, but it's also you become different artists throughout your life. So you're always trying to reconcile who you were before.
Right. Who I was before will keep me up at night. Sometimes.
Along with the malt liquor.
All right. You got it. So, Melon's saying they DM'd you an old piece, an old pic, but don't show it.
Ooh.
It's big. It's taking a sec.
That is, Melon, that is still really, really good. Like, that's the other thing, is I think we're a little too harsh on our past selves. You know, when we look at how far we've come, we look at our old art through this thing of it's cringe, it's horrid. When in actuality, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Like,
you can show me in private, they're saying. So if you want to put it in private chat.
Okay. But my point is that we treat ourselves much harsher than what we should. You know, particularly when we look at the old stuff and we start really cringing, it's because we were learning. Like,
you know, oddly, I'm not as hard on myself, my old self. I'm really not.
I have to be careful because I tend to get really, really mean on myself.
Yeah, I can see that.
And particularly,
was a big weather change for me. This was me in 91. That's not bad. I like the fact that 1.9 to 2.3 meters and 90 to 115 pounds. Oh, okay. Did you settle in there? No. But I mean, this was not horrible. I was very influenced by bubblegum prices. You probably couldn't guess.
I have lost all of my really old artwork.
This pretty cute shampoo I did.
If I can bring something up.
It's not a bad shampoo. I like that shampoo.
What about conditioner?
You know, I don't think there was ever a conditioner. Although that would have been particularly funny.
Yeah, I mean, Akira Toriyama named entire characters after meals.
Oh, yeah. Gohan, and I mean, it's obvious. Fajita. Well, and Rumiko was no different. Ranma there's a lot of food jokes in Ranma. And that's the thing. Melon's like, I wasn't even alive in 91. I'm like, that was kind of when I started actually like making a change in my art. Getting better. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We're all going to be that way, but it's sort of painful. And it's been a long journey. But it's one of those things. I mean, if anybody naysays but that's one of my weak spots, right? Is if anybody naysays my using maquettes, I get all self-conscious and try desperately to not use maquettes for a while. And then it takes me weeks to make comic pages, and I keep having to remind myself what is my priority. Okay? My priority is the story. The art is secondary, though important. The art is secondary for my mission, not for everybody's mission. Just
and that's just it. Is some people's tricks other people won't do, but that doesn't make your trick any less relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
like, there are times I look at the maquette and go, it'd just be easier on me if I did the maquette.
And you can't. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's just not my.
Don't mess with the muse.
It's just not my cup of tea. I can't work like that.
Yeah, and I'm just like Melon. I'm using my 3D skills. My maquettes are not stock. I have been working on those maquettes and remodeling them. And so
I was talking to my buddy Lee about this, and he goes, "Wait, there's 3D modeling in Clip?" I'm like, sort of. But if you know 3D modeling, you can put custom 3D models into Clip Studio and use those for helping you draw. Mm-hmm. And he was totally blown away. He didn't realize that it had the ability to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I need to find a new layer and say and it's a thing. I mean, it's how you do things.
Yeah.
Everybody has their way of doing stuff.
And their workflow. And it's just how you come in and do certain things.
Right.
Like, look at Crossing. Crozier.
Yeah.
And neither one of us can do what Crozier can do with his art, which is that line.
God,
he'll do. Beautiful. God,
so steady. Such a steady line. And don't worry about it, Melon. You weren't missing much. We were still worried about whether the Russians would nuke us. Kate Bush was on the top 10. Wait, that's yesterday. I get confused. Sorry.
What was his, what's his name? Crozier.
Dan Crozier? I mean, Kofo?
Yeah, Kofo.
I don't know if I like peach in her hair, though. I like peach in her hair. I may have to change that. This is one of those where I'm listening to this and going, I don't know, guys. I feel like you're not quite doing what you're saying this should be. I don't know if I agree with this.
Melon. He does this on a piece of wood.
Yeah. Godzilla. Oh man, it's beautiful.
And he'll do entire murals like that. It's just absolutely gorgeous and absolutely sickening as an artist. I hate him. No.
Yep. So true. So beautiful. And sometimes he does it with burning.
Yeah. He'll do wood burning.
It's really wild. It's like he'll burn things in, and I'm like, damn.
And he does entire comics like that too.
Yeah.
Like he'll sell the original pages and you're getting a
piece of wood.
Yeah, a piece of wood that's what, 11 by 17?
Right. It's so wild. It's like, that's so cool.
And as an artist, you're sitting there holding this piece of wood going, I hate you.
Right.
I hate you with every fiber of my... This is beautiful.
And then he's like, no, it's not that good. It's like Joe Oliver. Oh, I could have kicked Andy too. Poor Joe.
Yeah, this is one of Dan Crozier's murals that he does. Like, that's a mural on a building.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Maybe not. Maybe that was a good idea in my head. And it isn't a good idea. So, did I tell you what I'm doing with this particular piece?
No.
I'm going to make a standee. A life-size standee. She's going to be 1-to-1, which still means that it's going to be this tall. Because she's like 5'1" or something like that, 5 foot. But that's all right. The whole point behind this character is that she's not Captain Kirk.
These panels are taking me a while to do, but I really am liking how they're turning out.
Agreed. Sent you another old pic. Comes from...
Yeah, I replied.
Okay. I'm just looking up every so often.
Yeah, I can't. I have to bounce back and forth. So I do appreciate this.
The heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because I love you, man. It's because I love you. Yeah, so I was thinking what I would do is take Chang here and make it so you could take, a selfie station. So you come up and you can take your picture with Chang, and it will say, take your picture with Chang, And I will put, Bellatrix Rising and like little letters right here or something. So when you do, you can put your arm around her and it looks like she's kind of hanging with you a little or whatever. And you can take your picture with her and then post it on the internet, and it'll have, Bellatrix Rising on it. Which I think would be fun.
That would be fun.
I was actually thinking of doing a couple of these, and maybe even doing one with like Mayrel, and I was actually thinking maybe doing something fun, like having Navin, and he's like holding a bunch of like just plastic, like the plastic widgets, whatever the plastic, wherever they are, they're not in here, which holds comics. But the way it's set is like there'd be like two up here in his hands and then one like hanging off of his hips, which looks like he's dropping them. Like he's like, he's like dropping all the books, but really they're little neat little holders to hold the books.
That'd be interesting.
Like comics in it, so it looks like the comics are like he's dropping the comics, like it's stuck in mid drop or whatever. I think that'd be funny.
I have not used my DeviantArt account in years.
Neither have I. I keep it going just because I know I need to be seen, but that's it. Literally isn't. I mean, I've posted once or twice in the last, say, 6 or 7 years.
Okay, let me break this up. That is from 2009.
I was still in Japan in 2009.
And yet I remember stuff even older than this that I've lost.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn it, I wish I had it.
I made a rule when I was first starting. I made a personal rule to never throw away art. Because I had heard so many artists say, yeah, I wish I hadn't thrown away my art,
Well, but I worked mostly digital, so what happened was it just got destroyed over time.
Yeah.
As you change and upgrade and you try to back up. And God, I wish I had kept some of my really old stuff.
I'm with you.
Though it is funny, there's, according to DeviantArt, my account has 402 pieces in it from 2009 to the present. I think just for 2022 alone, I think I've beaten that. I have to look at this now. Wait, I need to bring up this folder. (2022) properties. Okay, so cut this number in half. Because I do the original file and then I do the I do a PNG.
Right.
So I don't have nearly this many. But according to the properties, when I just clicked on the folder for this year, and that's not even the new backup stuff, there's 1,188 files.
Right.
So almost 600 pieces of artwork just this year alone.
A year, yeah. I'm with you. I mean, I'm not with you.
When did I
In this
stop?
one instance, you and I are not, in fact, equals at all.
When did I stop posting art on here?
Good night, Melon.
Good night, Melon. 2019. Oh my God.
We will see you later. Take care of yourself. We'll be here.
I don't know if I ever drew that and posted it on here.
So I was saying that my wife and I are having a big rewatch of TNG.
Yes.
And we watched a number of fascinating episodes, as one does when you're having a big rewatch of TNG. And it was interesting. A few things. One, I had this moment where I was watching it going, oh, I remember watching this as a kid, because we're still in third season, so that's 1989. And all of a sudden I had this, like, I don't want to say feeling, but almost like a connection to myself in 1989. Because I think in 1989 I was doing wonder if I'll be watching these in the future sometime, like, in the year 2000, which was so far away. Because like that was ridiculous. It was so science fiction. I was looking at it, I was like, damn, here I am with my beloved wife sitting on the couch watching this, and she and I are happy as clams. We're eating candy and watching this, and the kid's doing his homework, and what I mean, like, it was like this quintessential family moment. And I was like, I don't know if I would have ever guessed that this would have happened when I was that age, because in 1989, geeks were not revered. There was nothing positive about being a geek. So, you were just gonna, I figured that I would outgrow Star Trek somewhere along the line.
And you never do.
Yeah. I said to my wife, I said, it's funny, I've had a lot of things in my life that I wasn't sure about. But there are three things that I am really sure about. One, about her. Two, about my kid. And three, I'm a Trekkie. I'm like, it's like those three things are like just, they've never wavered, I have to be careful being sappy around my wife, though. She is not sappy tolerant, generally speaking. One of the reasons I like her. But sometimes I get sappy anyway. She can just put up with it and tolerate it. Which she does.
Tolerate your sappiness.
She tolerates the sappy. Oh well. She's good people. That's not bad. Makes her eye or her nose look so wide though.
You get a good night's sleep, Melon, okay?
I think they're already gone.
Well, it said they work at 4 a.m.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that they've been gone for a while. Hopefully, they've been gone for a while. And we need to go down and be sleepy. Damn it, why'd you do that to yourself?
God, going down DeviantArt, like looking at my DeviantArt, it's so wild because you can see the transformation not only in me and how I was doing different things, but also the transformation in technology.
Yeah. I love that.
You know, here's all of the pictures from when I was going through cancer.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
You know, when the doc. Sorry. When the doctor told me over the phone they had found a mass in my throat.
Yeah.
And then the next one where, it came back positive for cancer. And then another doctor telling me that I would possibly never be able to talk again. And the cancer was so bad, it was beyond what he could operate on. And that effectively I had stage 4 cancer.
I can't believe you kicked that butt. Man. I'm glad you did, though, because that all happened before I knew you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know you. It'd be a dark part of my life. Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't know, but still. Knowing now, I know. weird. I'm feeling like I'm having another social fail. Oh.
I
think you understand the sentiment of where I'm headed on this.
Yeah, one. No. I understand. It's like, but I was writing things down, or I was drawing things on how I was feeling them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like, that was my way of dealing with the pain, because I just had myself. And, it's like, at one point I had to write a living will. And I was having to deal with the reality that, if something were to happen, these are the conditions essentially in which I want you to murder me.
Right. Such a bizarre thought process.
I had one. It was I was in the doctor's office talking to the endocrinologist that I had to get.
Right.
And I took the phone call, and the endocrinologist was, "I hope that phone call is important." And I replied to the endocrinologist, I'm like, "It's the surgery giving me the date, or it's the surgeon giving me the date to remove the cancer." He goes, "Okay, that's important. Tell him the endocrinologist says hi."
Okay, so I mean, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but now I'm horribly curious. How did you go from you're not going to make it to beat it and talking? I'm astonished. I mean, I'm glad. Very.
And it was more than that, because when they ran the blood work, they came back that I have thin blood and I was at risk for the surgery to begin with. And then during the course of the surgery, they accidentally deflated my lung.
Oh, no.
So I was all levels of screwed up during that.
Man, they did a great job
and
bringing you back.
So the cancer, it was
pulpous ones. They had little polyps.
It wasn't. It's papillary thyroid cancer.
Okay.
And it said normally it's not deadly, except when you get it in the middle of your throat, like I had it. Because normally it latches onto either one side of your thyroid or the other. Mine latched onto the bridge, so it was dead center. And it was slowly squeezing into my throat and crushing my throat. And had actually invaded into the throat. So when they did the surgery, they actually had to cut out a good portion of my throat and then pull up on the interior of my throat and surgically connect it like that.
Wow. How did you find out?
I went to the doctor because I was hot. Like, it would be 20 degrees outside in the winter, and I'd be wearing a short sleeves t-shirt and sweating.
Oh, yeah.
And I was really, really, I was really cranky, and I was losing my patience with people a lot. And so the doctor was like, "Well, your mom has a thing with thyroid, that her thyroid's dead. I said, let's run some blood work. And have you actually ever had anybody actually look at your thyroid at any point? And I said, no, never. I didn't even think it was a thing.
Right.
And she went, well, let me go and let me look. And she went and she felt around my neck and she goes, I don't like how enlarged it is. I'm going to send you to the Good Sam, and I want them to do an ultrasound on you and see what's going on. And they did an ultrasound and they found the mass. And she's like, okay, well, let's see what it is. Sent me to have it
X-rayed or MRI?
Not MRI, it's a biopsy.
Biopsy.
And the biopsy came back positive.
Ooh.
And I'm like...
But you weren't having like trouble swallowing or anything that would have given you a clue.
I was having a little bit, but my dad had problems swallowing.
Right.
So I never thought anything of it.
Yeah, you never gave it any second thought.
And so there, she was like, well, I know this really, really great person who deals with these. We'll send you to him. And he was in Golden. And he looked at the ultrasound and then gave me the most terrifying speech ever of, this is beyond my skill.
Right.
And you have to have it or else you will die because it will crush your throat. It is very near your larynx, and more than likely the surgery will destroy your larynx and your ability to ever talk again.
Man, that's brutal. That's so brutal. I don't even know. I don't think I'd be able to handle that. Well, I mean, I guess we all do. We all, I say that, and then I'm like, of course I'd handle it. We all handle it. But I certainly wouldn't take it with grace.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard this story. Oh, well, no, I know I've never heard this story. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's not any fun, so I appreciate it.
But yeah, I'm actually glad I wrote this down. Yeah, I have a couple of my friends who have known me for a very long time who refer to me as the zombie because they don't understand how I'm still alive at this point.
Personally, I'm grateful.
Yeah. Between the cancer, COVID.
I know COVID tried to take you out. And then it didn't.
I have some really badass genes in there. I have the Simpson family cockroach genes.
Right. Yeah. I'll never forget that moment when you just sent that text to me and it's you in the hospital and you're like, well, COVID tried to kill me. Didn't work. And I was like, what? Because I hadn't heard from you, but it's not uncommon. Although, just so you know, if you start disappearing for many days and I start pestering you, this is why.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Normally I leave people alone. Obviously he needs time or whatever. But I check in on you now every so often. Are you okay? You're not dead, are you? You're not attempting
Poke him with a stick.
Right? Poke him with a stick. See if he's still moving. All right. I think we're doing pretty good here. See, that's the thing. I might use a maquette to start, but all the rest of this is absolutely me. All the shading, all the coloring, all of the everything like that, that's absolutely 100% me.
Well, even the maquette is you.
Yeah, the maquette's me too. I mean, I built and modeled that maquette.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short. You spent hours on that maquette.
You were there for some of it. It's like the stupid.
If anybody says shit to you about the maquette, I will fight them on it.
You will fight them. Yeah, I appreciate that. I saw Joe go through it at the con, and I feel so bad because I've been there. So Andy said something that was completely innocent and not intentional at all, and Joe just went wrong with it, and it was so sad. And I was so sad for Joe. But Andy was talking about how you can tell it's a Joe piece because the color palette, and Joe just went into a spiral because he was like, it's now contrived, and he couldn't shake himself from it. It just he was a hack all of a sudden, and I was like, and I mean like all of us were. We were all like, what? How did this put you in a spiral? How did this put you in a spiral? This is so sad. And and it's the same way. This is my weak spot. I know that this would put me in a spiral, and it's a stupid place to be in a spiral.
Particularly with Joe, either Joe. I don't know which Joe this was.
Oliver.
Oh God, and he does such beautiful artwork.
And when we talk about his color palette, it is so outrun. He's the only. See, I love Outrun. Outrun is one of my favorite color palettes. That's the 80s palette, that super ridiculous color code things. All of them are really, like you think of like Nagel and all of the like Miami Vice. That's
Outrun.
Right?
Yeah.
That Outrun color. Oh man, I love Outrun to the bottom of my heart, and I can't do it. I can't ever do it. Everything I do just never turns out right. I cannot pull off Outrun. And Joe does it just does it effortlessly. He does it without even thinking about it. He goes Outrun. And now he's going to throw everything he's got that's Outrun out because he thinks it's contrived. And I'm like, oh, Joe, oh my God, you have the palette that I cannot get. And I love.
And you can make it work.
And you can make it work just fine. And Outrun is so hard for me. And I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in that era. That's my era. That's my home base. And I can't pull it. And Joe does it with effort. And now he's going to toss it all out. And I'm like, and I'm so sad. I'm just like,
Joe, no, Joe.
Oh, my heart, man, my heart. You're pulling Outrun, and you're not going to be able to do it anymore because it's contrived, and I'm just so sad. And I don't know any way to tell him that. He doesn't listen or believe, and I understand that. I mean, like, I've been in that road. I know exactly what's going on. I don't listen or believe either. Like I said, one of the reasons I'm so defensive about the maquettes is I know all I need is one person to say, you're a hack. And then I'll be like, you're right, I'm a hack. And that'll be it. You know what I mean? I'll be stuck in that same stupid spot.
With me yelling at you about not listening to that person.
Not just
and
you,
possibly Pepper, yelling at that person.
and Pepper. And I mean, I know it'll be a horrible spot. And I mean, it's like, I know that.
But it's like, God damn, I've been with digital art for so long.
I know you're looking at your stuff still, and you're like, damn, bro.
Because like I remember like all of these. I was doing it on a the old Wacom Graphire tablets.
Mm-hmm.
The Graphire the small one, like the teeny tiny $100 one.
I got you beat. I was using an M1400, which was an old medical PC. It was a medical laptop, and it was designed for nurses to run around with a pen so that you could sign off all of the things. That was what it was designed for. It was I think it was a 500 megahertz single core chip inside there. Oh man, but I love that thing. I drew most of Tamerlane on that damn thing. That was my first entry really into digital work. Before that, you know what I did? I took this really large 11 by 17 printer, and I would draw everything, scan it, bring it into Photoshop, turn it into a blue line, print it back out, ink it, scan it. Before I had the 11 by 17 printer, I would do that by scanning the top half, flipping it around, and scanning the bottom half, and then printing both pages out and taping them together and inking them, and then scanning the top half and scanning the bottom half.
I sent a link to you. That was that's my first Graphire tablet.
Look at it being $35 whole.
I mean, look at that thing.
I know, right?
Probably had, for back then, probably had like 12 levels of pressure to it.
You can't even buy mine anymore. That's so sad.
I was so proud to own that thing.
Right? This one's not the right one. It's not. It's in fact, it's one generation newer than the one I had.
512 levels of pressure sensitivity.
Check us out.
Oh my God, look at that thing.
Isn't that a monster? It's beautiful. It came with a Pentium M processor. It hurts, man. It hurts. But like I said, took it with me to school every day when I was working, and between classes, I'd sit at my teacher's desk and I'd just sit it there and plug it in. And I'd get up and I'd go to class and I'd come back and I'd draw more panels. And then I'd get up and go to the next class, come back and do more panels, you know. It didn't have quite the horsepower to do DAZ Studio, but it could do Photoshop because it was Photoshop 6. So that's all it could do was Photoshop 6.
3 gigabytes of memory.
It was pretty seriously. But it was the coolest damn thing. And this was long before tablets came with styluses. You couldn't get styluses for tablets. So the tablets were just starting. Like this was just before the iPad came out, the first iPad, like about 5 years before the first iPad.
Yeah.
And there were no styluses for tablets. You know, tablets were starting, but they were like, who'd use a stylus on a tablet, right? Yeah. So they just didn't. And I was like, oh. So my sister it was actually cool. I had, because I couldn't get it imported into Japan, but my sister was going to visit, and so I had it sent to my sister, and then my sister, well, she didn't visit, that's right. She just made it in a care package and sent me a care package because I couldn't get it sent to Japan. I had to send it to someplace in the US. So I remember I sent it to my sister, and then my sister had to mail it over in a care package. Back in the day. I didn't even have a browser on that thing, as I recall, because it was so early in the internet days that I'd come home to the laptop that was at home and surf the web and stuff like that. And so I did have a browser, but I don't remember I used it very much. But yeah, just a wonderful little beast. Before that, I had a bamboo tablet, or a bamboo, it's just like yours. It's not a screen. You plug it in and then draw on it and look at the screen like this and hope that you're doing it right.
Yeah, the bamboo came after the Graphire series.
Right. So I had the bamboo. Because you're younger than me, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah. So when I upgraded, I went from the Graphire series to the bamboo series, and I did the bamboo Create.
Oh, yeah.
And that was, I went through seriously 3 pens with that thing. Because I just wore them down. I was drawing so much.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
And then I got, after the Create was the Samsung Galaxy 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Good with that.
And that's when I started to make the shift into monitor tablets and realizing how much better they were for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I came back, I was still using that motion computing right up until the first Surface, which was a very, very first Surface. I mean, like, Microsoft had just put the Surface out. Because I'd been using, I had used an iPad for a while, but it wasn't doing the job. And I went through a number of weird little tablets between there, which didn't quite do the job. With even up to and including using, those pins that were effectively your finger but really small.
Yeah.
Because that's all it really was just a capacitance tab, like a capacitance ball. I was trying to draw with those, and it just never worked. And I ended up doing it was kind of sad because when that M1400 died, I had to move back to printing out my pages and inking them and then print and scanning them back in. And that was miserable. I mean, I'm in a renaissance, comparatively speaking, now. I've got this massive monitor here, which I can use to draw on, and then I've got a lovely Surface Go that goes with me everywhere, which I can draw on. I consider myself super lucky. I don't need to use paper at all.
Yeah. Well, and remember when I went to RTG, I went from the Samsung to pen and ink.
Mm-hmm.
And I did pen and ink for a while, and that really changed my style, particularly when I went back to digital.
Right.
And I had a while in which I was bouncing between digital and traditional, and now I'm back to just 100% digital. But you can see that inking exploration I did in my digital work now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's just really interesting. I love man, this is another one of those. In 1998, if I had told myself there will be a day where you will draw on your monitor. Actually, I did know that it was coming because I had worked in television and I saw the Avid come in when Avid first started, and that was a Macintosh-based system. But then they had the graphics box, and that was wild. But it was a huge tablet. I mean, it wasn't a monitor tablet. It was just a tablet, but it was just massive. So you could draw all over it. And they were taking their stylus and tap, 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 and then draw this, and then draw that, and then draw this, and draw that, and tap, tap, tap. And, and I was watching the video roll backward and forward, and new graphics come up, and then tap, 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 and the graphics would go away, and then they would do things like they could do masks and stuff like that by just drawing the masks. But even then, it was still just a big Wacom tablet. That was what it was. But it was a super expensive Wacom tablet. I think it cost them $21,000 for that Wacom tablet system. But this was 1995, right? But I could see it on the horizon. I knew we were going to be drawing into the PC at some point in time. I knew that was coming. I just didn't know how it was going to take its form. So if I told my younger self this, I'd be like, okay, I could see that, I certainly wouldn't not believe it, Not like my dad and his infamous story about, so it can add and subtract faster than me. How are these things going to be changing the world?
Dude, check this out.
I'm going to make that bigger. That's not the bigger. That's the bigger. Oh, look at that.
I mean, you can see even when did I do this one? This is 2005.
2005. I was in Japan. No, I wasn't in Japan. That was before I even went to Japan.
Like, you can already start to see, even here, the very early bits of my styling coming in.
Yeah.
Good Lord, 2005.
Right?
Jesus, that's almost 2 decades ago.
I know. My mom passed in 2002 in July. We just passed the 20th anniversary of that. That is really weird. Really weird. My dad made it almost 20 years longer than my mom.
Wow.
And to the end, my dad still believed that it was better to have capitalized medicine. And I'm like, you literally are alive because of socialized medicine. And mom is literally dead because she could not afford the surgery. Literally. And he would not. I mean, I didn't ever want to say it because my dad actually was a sweetheart and really a softie. And I think I would have crushed him utterly with those words. And it wasn't worth it to try to undo his political crap. It just wasn't worth the fight.
Yeah.
But I still feel that way. I'm still like, I can't believe that to the bitter end, he literally was alive because of the VA. And mom died because she didn't have socialized medicine. There was no way to pay for the $65,000 surgery. So she didn't. And she died. And I'm like, I cannot believe that he knew it somewhere in his head. But the cognitive dissonance was so big that he literally wouldn't believe it. And that's so weird. That's the reason why whenever people start saying, Republicans are all evil, I'm like, I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Everybody's like, what? You believe this? And I'm like, I don't think that the people on that side have all of their faculties with them. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that because there's no way my dad couldn't have understood that somewhere. So
yeah.
He had to have understood it somehow. So it's a thing.
He couldn't.
He couldn't get over the cognitive dissonance. He just couldn't defeat the cognitive dissonance. So anyway, it's midnight, man.
Yeah, we need to close this down.
Do you sleep in your camper?
Huh?
Do you sleep in your camper?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Is it warm in there?
Currently up here in the front where I have a lot of air leak, it's 56 degrees. But once I go into the back and I shut the doors back there, it stays about 60 back there.
That's not bad. Okay.
So
I don't need to worry about you too much then.
No, I have a heater back there, and I also have a electric blanket. So
cool. Okay, I just worry a little bit about you. That's all. You are in an exposed external building in freezing cold temperature. However, this is your second winter there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and I was in here when it was, minus 12. Actually, I think the lowest I've hit was minus 20 while I was in here.
Fair. Okay, good. Then I will only moderately worry about you.
Yeah, and I have plenty of blankets, so if I get cold, I'll just throw another one on there. So I'll be good.
Okay. Well, cool. Then I will see you later. I don't know whether I'll see you tomorrow or not. Be aware, I work next week. I actually have a 5-day run. So starting Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So there will be no day shows. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Okay.
And I mean, Thanksgiving is Thursday, probably not Thursday either. So I will do a day show on Friday. You are welcome to do day shows if you wish to. And it's questionable as to whether I will do night shows. It depends on how wiped out I am. That's going to be a hard run for those days. So we'll see.
Well,
we'll see how
whatever needs to be done, we'll do.
I figured. It's not a big deal, but I wanted to make sure you had a heads up so that you knew ahead of time things were going that way.
Yeah.
You're
good.
I will see you then later. And as for everybody else, I don't think there's still 2 people still out there on there. One for you and one for me.
Woohoo!
For you guys, keep your eyes on the stars, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
See ya.